Hey, hi, hello, how's it going? Welcome back to For Humans Like Us. It's been a long time. It's been a real long time. I have been on the move and the groove, as the kids don't say nowadays. This is my new setup. I was doing this completely virtual, no camera, no nothing. And then I decided, hey, why not? Let's try. So, this is my kind of starter to a YouTube podcast as well as on Spotify. If you guys are interested in listening to while you drive, while you work, while you do all the things, check me out on Spotify. But if you're here today, that is because this is a ginormous, and when I tell you ginormous, update on life since the last time I ever made a podcast. I had so many people reaching out to me asking me when we were going to start things back up and if I had time, all of the things. I have not. So I wanted to hop back on here and just kind of chat with you guys, kind of like a FaceTime, and tell you guys what's been going on in my life because there's a lot of really scary, terrifying, but really awesome things happening here shortly. And I just wanted to put it all out there and just kind of start talking about my journey as an entrepreneur, as a photographer, an esthetician, a wedding planner, question mark. So let's dive into what I've been up to the last almost year or so. Starting off, the last time I talked to you guys, I was in an apartment in the east side of Arizona. I was having the really cute, kitschy time of my life living in not even a one bedroom apartment. It was literally a studio apartment. I was living in a 400 and some square foot studio apartment, taking care of my, at the time, boyfriend's dog. And we were just having the time of our life. I was doing the photo shoots, hanging out with my boyfriend, seeing some of my family, doing all those things. I really was coming back home every night, just not super fulfilled though. I knew that this was kind of an in between, and being at this apartment was really not going to be something concrete. I don't love living in super, super tiny spaces. Mind you, I want to go on the road and be a nomad. Wild. But the apartment was just not what I was planning for myself. But I think that year of living by myself really had to happen for us to get to where we are now. After I moved out of the apartment and my lease ended, we actually, we, meaning I, moved to the more south side of Arizona. And I was living with some friends for literally 3 weeks until Finn had said, hey, why don't you just move in with us at the apartment? It's a one bedroom with three of us, but we can make it work so we all can save some money and get where we want to get. So I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Little did I know that that was probably going to be one of the hardest, probably 6 months of, I think, all of our times. Living with three people in a one bedroom apartment is not for the weak, and we genuinely were stepping on each other's toes every single day. I didn't know if we were all going to be living together after that apartment, but we made it out. And we are now living in a three-bedroom apartment. Me, my fiance Finn, our roommate Brittany, and his brother, my brother, soon to be brother in law, Preston. So we are living a grand old little life here, if you cannot see from behind me. I have been just so grateful for the struggle that I've went through. I have been so just so happy to the utmost. And I feel as though there was a point in time where I was being asked or I was being told by a lot of people to not go down the road that I was. But what I realized in that was that I am not living my life for other people. I also don't want to be living the life of other people. And that's gotten me here. So, guys, it is hot in Arizona. I am sweating my ass off, but we're here nevertheless. So I'm sorry if you guys see that I'm sweating. I walked the dog before I got in here. It's a time, okay? But I have never been so happy and so content and so fulfilled in my life in so long. I think probably before your girl started paying bills. So this has just been the craziest change in life ever. If you guys haven't been on my socials, and I didn't really talk about it prior to, I'm engaged. I'm showing my ring off right now to the YouTubes, but I am engaged. That was a once in a lifetime experience. I told that man we're never going back. we are never going back. We are staying together forever and ever. He is bonded by the grace of God, and I won't do it again because I have never almost thrown up from nerves, and I almost threw up because I had an inkling that it was happening, and everyone around me, I could feel the tension. We went up to Sedona. It was beautiful. The weather was amazing. I looked amazing. My fiance now looked amazing. He looked fantastic. My best friend Brittany and my best friend Bernard came with. Bernard did the photos, which was just so special to have someone that I care about so much and who has been in my life and rooted me on from his corner, just be there and be able to capture something so once in a lifetime for me. That was a super special moment. We went on a little hike, and my friend Brittany, our friend Brittany, recorded everything. She was sobbing in the background of the video. It was very cute. If you guys go onto my Instagram, I think there's a clip or snippet in one of the engagement picture video stuff that I posted, but it was a time to be had. That is for sure. I was elated, to say the least. I called everyone and anyone that I could after, and it was pitch black outside, and I was still trying to show off my ring because I was just so excited. After all of the things that I had been through, and all of the therapy, and all of the hard conversations, and just fighting my trauma, everything, everything. I was just so proud of us getting to that point that I can't even fathom. I can't fathom that have been worked out any other way. We drove back from Sedona the same day, and it just felt like a weight had been lifted off of both of our shoulders. I had been waiting around for him to ask because there were so many different things that he was doing. And babe, I love you to death if you're watching this, but he was so nervous. And I could tell the last like 6 months, he goes to tell me in the video of our engagement that he had asked my grandparents and my mom for their blessing. And everyone was so chill. I didn't think that my whole family was going to be able to keep a secret that large. But I kind of figured it out during the whole entire process. My fiance is not slick. He tries to be. Love you so much. But I'm usually the planner. So having him plan all of this stuff was a huge green red flag, a huge orange flag, if you will. Um, but it was a time. We had an amazing time. We went to go check out the chapel, which I had never been to, and I had been to Sedona a lot. So we went to go check out the chapel. That was beautiful. We went and had lunch at one of the restaurants going out of Sedona towards Flagstaff area, and that was just stunning. It was just perfect. Everyone was taking pictures of me. I found out that they were all taking pictures of themselves with the ring of Finn with the ring behind my back. It was everything I could have asked for, and I didn't even realize that that is exactly what I would have wanted, and it was so us, and I was just very very happy with that outcome. So I am engaged. I stepped on the gas when it came to wedding planning after we figured all of that out. Once I was engaged, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to get this shit figured out immediately. When I tell you I got so burnt out after probably a month, I was over it. I don't even know. Finn probably was like, why did I even ask this girl to marry me? Because I went psycho for a little while. I was ready to put in all the deposits for all of the vendors. I was ready to have it booked, the whole wedding booked. Just slam down 20 grand for 3 years from now. But that is our plan. We are going to do a pretty long engagement to just save some money and hopefully be able to have the wedding of our absolute dreams. Me and Finn are quite bougie when it comes to our wedding plans. We're doing very Twilight meets, I don't know, Twilight wedding meets like Portland forest, ethereal, but earthy vibe, country almost. We're not going full country because it's not really our MO all the time, but we definitely love the Twilight wedding scene. We just want it to be something super magical and something really real. We have a lot of chosen family. We're estranged from a lot of our other families. So we really want something that feels like us and that has a lot of uh, inside jokes, a lot of chosen family integrated into it. So I'm very, very excited. The planning has been so fun to the point that moves me into my next segment. I have been doing photography for almost 11 plus years at this point. I can't even count anymore. I think professionally, I've probably been doing it for almost 10 years. I have been so, 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 so blessed by the community that I have put myself into, that I have met so many supportive, just putting my name out there in rooms that I'm not in type of people. And I realized that the industry had so many amazing people in it that I didn't want to just do photography anymore. I've done the weddings, I've done the portraits, I've done the senior sessions, I've done all the things, and I love it. I love doing photography all the time. It's something that I can fall back into when I'm really, really struggling mentally. And it's a job that I wholeheartedly just love making other people feel good about themselves. I love making the seniors laugh and giggle. I love, coming down and getting on the kids level and just feeling them out to see how, we can make this photo shoot be really lovely for them in the future as well as their parents. So that was a huge thing for me. I was super, super excited to realize that wedding planning is actually a huge thing for me. I loved wedding planning. Wedding planning, ever since I started, has actually been so fun for me. And I thought, hey, why don't I do another thing that could make me some cash as well as something that I love? Because I know that's what a lot of us want, is to just do things that we love. And I thought, I love wedding planning and I've loved looking at all the venues. I've loved researching, doing the ins and outs and finding out, the cheapest places, the best places, all integrated, inclusive, non inclusive, all of that. So I was really excited to kind of make up a business plan alongside my photography to do wedding planning. So that is a company that is coming very, very soon for me. in that regard, everyone knows I do photography. It is now AML photography, not AMB photography. So very soon it will be Ashley Mariah Lamb photography rather than Ashley Mariah Benavides photography, which is very, very, very exciting. And I did want to do the name change just because it integrates who I am into what I'm doing. And that's just really fun for me. And it's just a testament to how much support Finn has given me and that I could brand my business as something that correlates with my life. So it'll be AML photography from here on out. I've changed all of my things on social media. I've done all of the kind of rebranding in that way to make sure that I was able to get into that as soon as the business side of things really started flourishing. On top of that, I don't know if I ever talked about it on here, but I did go to school for 9 months for aesthetics and have done nothing, absolutely nothing with it. I think I waxed a few people after I got out and maybe did some eyebrows and some makeup, but that was about it. I was so, so, so terrified of pushing myself into the direction of taking that leap from the corporate world, from the 9 to 5, and the stability that I was so like hopelessly holding on to. I had already tried to do photography by itself a really long time ago, and I was not in any space, nor was I with a partner who could help stabilize me in the really rough moments when it came to building a empire of my own. I get goosebumps thinking about it because I would not be, and I've said this in every relationship, but when I tell you that I mean it so, so, so sincerely, I have never felt so supported, so loved, and so heard in my life. So, if you take something from this podcast, I just want you guys to know that my MO is don't settle in life and pick the partner that is going to be there for you when you deal with, and on some real shit, when you deal with the burials, when you deal with the hard times, when you deal with the medical emergencies, the grief, the struggle, the depression, the anxiety, all of that, because everyone can have fun in the good. Everyone can have fun when everyone's happy and, smiling and rainbows and sunshine. But as soon as that gray cloud comes over your head, who's going to be there at the end of the day? And really building these businesses has made me realize how much you can do on your own, but how much easier it is to have that community and to have the support of my friends, as so much more support with my partner being next to me, guiding me along, helping me, make decisions. And it is so definitely my business. He loves the arts, but he is more a logistical guy, and he really does love his blue collar work, which he finally got into, which is so, so exciting to watch him get into that side of himself and be able to work and provide the way that he has wanted to. We may not be a super traditional couple, but he is a very traditional man when it comes to wanting to provide, wanting to be there as my rock, and he really has been. So I have a lot to thank him for when it comes to being able to do all this whole desk setup behind me. He put together probably less than 72 hours ago, and it has been just a testament to how proud he is of me. And I don't know if I've ever outwardly seen someone so proud of me before. He just kept saying it to me over and over again yesterday after he surprised me with everything finished. And I was like, please stop. You're going to make me cry, because I just don't. I have always had imposter syndrome, and I know a lot of people do, especially when you become a business owner or when you have, everything in your lap that you've ever wanted, but it just somehow doesn't still feel real. And that's how I'm feeling. There are a lot of times that I don't feel good enough. I don't feel like my photography is good enough. I don't feel like stepping into my aesthetics world that I'm going to be someone's favorite. The rebooking and the bringing clients back. But when I pause and I look back on my 10 years of photography experience plus, I realized that I have done that every single day of my life. I have pushed, I have marketed myself, my brand, my everything. And needless to say, about a week ago, I hopped onto my little computer at work at my 9 to 5, and I took a moment during my lunch and got an LLC. Yay! So your girl is branded. I have thought that LLCs were the scariest thing to get, and realizing how easy it was to go through Arizona's corporate offices and get an LLC and get everything situated for myself finally, it was like I was seeing in Technicolor after I pressed buy. After I got everything situated, I got the LLC, and then I had got some advice from some people saying that I needed an EIN, which is how you pay taxes with your business. And I was so terrified, but also I just, it's government, right? Like you're putting a business out there for the government. You're putting a business out there to make yourself revenue, but also it's very official. And I was just absolutely terrified. I had always wanted to finally set stuff in stone to be able to, do the tax write offs and do the taxes and look at how much money I was really making for myself by helping people, by capturing events and capturing memories for people, and to know that I could do something that was so much more worthwhile than sitting at a desk. And mind you, all of our workers, from everything, whether that's working at McDonald's to, working in a warehouse to blue collar work to, stripping. Like it really, anything is work, and our society wouldn't go round if we didn't have it. So that is saying that I have a much more creative brain than a 9 to 5 desk job really allows for me. And I was just so burnt out. I was falling asleep at work. It was to the point where I had no stimulation at work. It was just so mundane and so task driven in a way that it was the same thing every day. And for me, I need newness. I need to be hanging out with different clients. I need to be meeting people. I love the fast pace, but it has to be doing something that I love. And I have realized that over the time I fought with myself for so long, thinking that I had an awful work ethic. I thought that being in the 9 to 5 industry, I was not doing what I should have been doing in the field. I felt like I was sitting here trying so hard to make my brain cooperate with what we're supposed to be doing at this reception job, and I was slacking. And why, I'll come to the time figuring out and asking my therapist over and over, crying over, not feeling good enough, and it kind of triggering me in ways that I didn't realize was I really just didn't have the right kind of stimulation. There are people who really, really thrive in super task driven, mundane jobs, and I just don't. And when I finally figured that out, I remember I took off a Friday to go do a birth shoot. And it's on my TikTok. I did a video of me out, and I remember being so happy waking up at 4 a.m., knowing that I was going to be able to go shoot a birth. Mind you, I would never in my life want to wake up at 4 a.m. for a 9 to 5 job. There's no way in hell that you could get me out of bed at that time. But I was so excited that I woke up at 4. I got all of my stuff ready. She had let me know that she was on her way to the hospital and she would keep me posted. I went downtown to the hospital that she was at. I hung out at this brand new coffee shop that I had researched. I was looking for, cute little coffee shops around the area that I could make some content, I could hang out, I could edit, I could have a coffee and just sit and chill. And that's what I did. I sat and I chilled and I enjoyed, and I kept tabs with her, and she wasn't ready, baby wasn't ready. Good, great. I got hungry. I researched a Ethiopian place. I had never eaten Ethiopian food before. I barely even knew what Ethiopia was or Ethiopian food was. And when I tell you, I got home that night after hanging out there for hours, just hanging out at the coffee shop, hanging out at the restaurant. I went home and cried. I cried like a baby to Finn because I had realized that that was what I wanted my days to feel like. I was crying because I was just so happy and so emotional and so recharged by doing what I wanted to do, that I knew that that was what I needed to do. I needed to find a path. I needed to find a way to get out of my 9 to 5 and finally have my big break. And I have been I've had clients. I've been doing the thing on the weekends. I've been having my side gigs. I've been doing all of that, but I am very, very happy to say that I have an LLC under Ash and Co Ventures LLC. I am working on all of the rebranding for all of my things. My aesthetics is going to be Olive and Ash aesthetics. And I'm working on my wedding plannings at the moment. It's been a little bit more of a process getting into that type of industry. My photography helps a lot, but it is really hard to try to find some time to sit down with people. And a lot of people don't want to pay the money for wedding planning and coordination, which I completely understand. But I do hope that I can find that clientele that wants that and who would feel a lot better on their wedding day using a coordinator, or even just being so overwhelmed with wedding planning as I was when I first started, to want to use someone and utilize me as just a tool in their back pocket when it comes to wedding planning. So that will be called The Vow and Veil. And I'm very excited for that as well. So my three businesses under Ash and Co Ventures LLC, those are my AKAs, my also known as, or working under the LLC, better known as. So I just wanted to make a super small announcement here. It feels really, really big to me. And I kind of had to go through a little time of feeling like I was telling people and they were super excited for me. But the best advice that I have gotten was, people are not going to care as much as you do. You have to want it for yourself, because no one is going to feel the elation and the excitement and the happiness that you do once you get to where you're at. And I have told a lot of friends and family, and I really had to realize that there's a lot of jealousy, unfortunately, that doesn't really shine out until you start doing the best that you've ever done. Or a lot of people just don't know how else to tell you congratulations, and I don't expect that from anyone, but it definitely was a realization moment, when you realize that no one else can be as excited for this venture as you are. So I just wanted to come on here and put that out there and say that I'm just so, so, so excited to be able to finally say that I own a for real business and that we're doing the damn thing, and to just kind of come into my own finally. I thought that I was going to be here years ago, and I just realized that it was all within the universe's timing, and we are in a much, much better headspace, a much, much better place. I think that I got this at a time where I could hold the gravity, I could hold the weight of all of this and be able to function with this business and really be able to do something with it. So, as terrified as I am, we are going freelance. And if you know anyone who's getting married, or you want to get a facial, or you want to support, go follow all of my Instagrams. I will have that in the description below, or wherever the description tends to be for these things. And please keep watching. I know that my last podcast started off with me, I don't even know, in a way different place than this. This was not how my comeback was going to be. I was supposed to talk about relationships and all the things, and we'll get there. But I just really wanted to come on here and let you guys know that I've been doing really, really well. We've had our ups and downs. It's been a roller coaster. I have been through so much therapy, but we are graduated. I have put in my month, my 30 days for my job, and we're doing it. So please stay tuned. We will have so much more coming through. And if you guys want to support, please follow, subscribe, all of the things to all of my socials. And I will be back here for you, hopefully every Friday. So please stay tuned. I love you guys so much. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of your week.